I don't look too bad, I don't think.
Except for our faces.
Fuck you. I look fantastic.
Hey guys, welcome back to... Wait. What the fuck is this shit?
I don't know what happened.
This is clearly... If you go to the Twitter or our email, it clearly says this is a podcast. What the fuck is this 2003 technology bullshit we've implemented?
I don't know. When did we become a fucking vodcast, dude? No one warned me. Look at my hair.
We gotta be all presentable and shit.
I know. Well, at least you have a backdrop.
Right?
I've got there.
It's like the devil on one shoulder and then the angel on the other type of thing, like Animal House. So yeah, we're hoping this doesn't fucking crash and burn because this is our first kind of beta test for doing video. Well, we've been wanting to try to check it out for a while, but the stupidest goddamn thing is that Skype will not let you do side-by-side video unless you have a third party member with you. Yeah. So our setup right now is just redonkulous, but fucking Skype.
But you know what? It was free and it works. Those two things are what's important here. That's the takeaway.
Factually correct, but yeah.
We just need to remember that they can see us.
If you don't move, they can't see you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're hoping to implement this for all of our podcast stuff. So yeah, we kind of probably should update the Twitter because it still says podcast, but we're never gonna do that. So that's just false hope. But yeah, yesterday we uploaded our top 5 TV show lists. So if you're curious about where our rankings came in for that, check out that upload. That one is still back in the 90s, back before there was video, unfortunately. So,
video killed the radio star, my friend.
Yeah, and Ron and I clearly have faces for radio, so this is unfortunate.
Hey, fuck you.
I'm flabulous. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Today we are ranking our top 5 movies of 2016. And we also have, you had 3 mentions, right?
Yes.
For this one? Okay. So you started off TV, so I guess it is my turn to start off for the movies. Ron, are you ready?
Sure.
Are you ready to arbitrarily rank movies?
Let's do this!
All right, my number 5, 2016, was Don't Breathe.
Okay. That's respectable.
Don't breathe, man. Stephen Lang was already a scary son of a bitch, but I had no idea how scary that man could be.
Dude. That movie, I assume we're still avoiding spoilers.
Yeah, unless it's like obvious shit from trailers, we're going to stay away from spoilers.
Okay. Yeah, dude. Oh my God, that movie. There's a couple things I appreciated about it. One, the cinematography in that movie is just ridiculous.
That scene from the trailer in the night vision,
dude, the night vision, and then this isn't really a spoiler, but there's a moment where the camera's looking across the living room to a room and the edge of the hallway, and he's standing at the edge of the hallway, and you see the person trying literally not to breathe in the room, but all you can see of him is like his face sticking out of the hallway.
I swear to God, it is the most accurately titled film of all time, because there are about 5 scenes in the movie where you are freaked the fuck out. Like, we had people, you and I actually went and saw it together at the theater. We had people audibly calling out like, oh shit.
I was gonna say, whoever you are, I love you. That woman was hilarious. She did that a couple of times. Yeah. But the floor creaks at one point, and then you just heard, oh shit, from the front row. Oh
my God, it was genius though. But yeah, that movie, man, like, typically, because I mean, what would you call it a horror movie? Is it kind of like more of a thriller? I don't really know how I'd classify it.
I think it's kind of a mesh of the two, really. It's, I mean, I don't know. It's blurring some lines.
Yeah, but it's typically not the type of movie that would make it into my top 5 because I am usually not the one to lean towards thrillers and horror movies of that kind of ilk. But it really blew me away when I watched it, so I thought it was warranted. And I'm a big Stephen Lang fan, so.
Not only that, though, what that movie was able to do, you and I have issues with current modern day horror movies, in that
most of them are garbage.
Most of them are garbage, and they're just slashers or just gore or they're horror comedies or something like that. None of them take the time to set the mood, to set the theme, to set the ambiance. And don't fucking breathe. I didn't breathe for 2 hours. Did you? That movie, I was on the edge of my seat beginning to end. And what that movie was able to accomplish on virtually no budget, like Stephen Lang was the budget, it's just shameful because there's like $250 million movies out there that don't accomplish that at all. Yeah,
and it takes I won't spoil anything, but it takes a couple of twists and turns where you are, and I actually really appreciate it too, because some of the spoilers, some of the twists and turns, in most cases nowadays would have appeared in trailers. I actually thought their trailer team did a damn good job for today's standards because you and I did not know what we were getting in for.
I think the difference is the budget. I think they did their own trailers. I don't think they hired anyone out.
Yeah, and you don't, and you're not going to, since the budget for it is not that high. It's not a type of thing where you can afford to, double up a small budget because you still need to make a profit on the end product. So I think but
go ahead.
It blew me away. It's one of those to where I would actually consider buying it on Blu-ray, which is also something I usually don't do for horror movies. Most horror movies are kind of like a one and done type of thing for the most part.
I don't know how well it holds up a second time. As intense, dude, I was exhausted when that movie was over. As intense as it is, I feel like it's at least good for 2 viewings probably. But yeah, I mean, I would probably buy it just to support them.
Yeah,
Don't Breathe 2 is listed on IMDb.
Great fucking movie, and my ass is in that seat if they do get around to making that second one. But yeah, that's my number 5.
I won't even be angry if that Stephen Lang's taken. Won't even be angry.
Yeah, I'm totally on board too. But yeah, go ahead, Ron. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Nice.
Yep. I had a lot of the same feelings about it that you had about Don't Breathe, actually. It's normally not the kind of thing that would end up in my ranking. This one's definitely a thriller. Usually thrillers for me, like horror movies for you, are one and done. But I think just for John Goodman's performance alone, I could watch this movie over and over. And don't get me wrong, all 5 people in this movie were fantastic.
I believe you really mean 4.
Oh yeah, the 3 inside and the 1 outside, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
unless you're counting like, oh wait, there's a 5th person on a cell phone. I guess there is 5.
I think one of the reasons why this movie works so well for me, honestly, is just how goddamn simple the plot is.
Well, you know what it was to me is what it felt like when I was watching it was a Twilight Zone episode just expanded out to an hour and a half, which I'm 110% on. But I wish we got more movies that were like 10 Cloverfield Lane. Honestly,
I wish we did too. It's, what's funny? When I was thinking about this, when I was thinking about my ranking, and whenever I rank stuff, I then think about the thing specifically, and I realized something I didn't realize at the time I watched it. The story is dark, obviously. The lighting in the movie is not, but it feels dark when you're watching it.
They do a
If that
lot of
makes
good.
any sense.
They do a lot of good work with like the lighting you're talking about. Like a lot of the time, it's very bleak. Like it looks almost like they're in an asylum, in an asylum, even though they're not. Like it looks
Yes.
very like it makes their situation look more desperate. And yeah, I mean the performances. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, the lead, she's fantastic too.
Oh.
But John Goodman, to me,
He stole that movie from everyone.
I actually put down as one of my notes, which is kind of like a side thing, not talking just the movies of the year, but to me, the best performance I saw all year in any movie was John Goodman in 10 Cloverfield Lane.
I would agree with that.
I mean, just thinking about like some of the other stuff on my list, it's like a lot of the movies that I really, really liked this year weren't ones that were specifically like performance based. It was more of like the movie as a whole and the action and stuff like that. But that movie was sold on clever performances, clever writing, like
Set design.
using the simple plot line, like you said, to maximum. Yeah, it was just a great movie.
It was just a fantastic movie. I encourage anyone to seek that out. That one was definitely worth seeing this year.
You want to know too? In the like the world we live in, where everyone is trying to make franchises out of everything, I really like how Cloverfield has taken the spiritual successor approach. How they're all called Cloverfield, but they're all not the same type of movie. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we get different flavors every time.
Now, I remember you actually telling me the other day that you had you wanted to talk about when we started our list that you noticed a trend with your list. Did you want to talk about that now, or do we want to wait till the end?
Let's wait till the end.
Okay. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, not really. It's just that movie just blew me away. I mean, I expected it to be good. It had an excellent cast. I did not expect what I got when I sat down in that seat, dude. That was a fantastic movie.
Great fucking movie. I really want to go and rewatch it right now just after talking about it. Did you end up buying it?
No, I haven't bought it. I don't even own Cloverfield, so.
Oh yeah, I remember I brought it over.
I was gonna say you borrowed it to me. You loaned it to me.
I borrowed it to you. Yeah.
You borrowed it to me.
We watched it. There's no reason to, because the movies really aren't connected at all. Other than they're both good movies. That's all all it matters though.
It was still worth it.
Yeah, totally fucking worth it. My number 4, I think, might be a bit of a surprise. I mean, it's still in the top 5, but I think it might be surprised. My number 4 is Deadpool.
Is it? Respectable.
Deadpool.
Well, no. Hold on. Be honest. It's for the song, isn't it?
No, it's like there's really nothing to say about Deadpool. I mean, everyone's seen Deadpool. Everyone knows exactly what it was. It is one of the most, if it is not the most faithful, it is like one of the top 2 or 3 most faithful comic adaptations that's ever been done. Like,
yeah, it was pretty. I don't know, dude. I don't even know where to begin with Deadpool. It was fantastically done.
I was so happy for Ryan Reynolds. Like, if anyone deserved to have that movie happen, it was Ryan Reynolds, because he talks about it in interviews and stuff. He was trying to get that movie made for like 10 years.
Yes.
Like, that just shows you how much you love that character.
The only reason that movie ever happened was Ryan Reynolds.
Like, they went through, like, the fact that he was able to get it R-rated blew me away.
And that announcement trailer for that was fantastic. That marketing campaign period was fantastic.
Best marketing campaign I've ever seen was Deadpool. Like, their Valentine's Day posters.
Yeah, one of the best uses of viral marketing too. Right, because they didn't have much budget because Fox figured it would just tank. And dude, that movie, the limited budget that it had, I mean, it just killed it at box office. It broke all kinds of records at box office, and for very good reasons. And there's one thing I will definitely say about that movie. I went in expecting the shittiest of stories. You know, I just wanted Deadpool.
You just wanted dick jokes from Deadpool. That's
pretty much, and chimichangas. And the story was actually pretty damn good.
It's actually a really effective love story, which is such an odd place for it to happen, but it just shows
And
you
it
how
came
good
out on Valentine's Day weekend.
and it's like the whole time it was just like, why the fuck are you releasing it on Valentine's Day? And you're like, oh, that's why, because it's I guarantee you it was a better love story than all the actual romantic movies, romantic comedies that probably came out on fucking Valentine's Day
Oh
weekend.
yeah. Dude, one of my most fondest memories though is any scene with the cab driver. That's all I'm gonna
Yes.
say. I know everyone has seen that movie by now, but just in case.
And best opening title sequence ever.
Yes.
Uh,
Um. Yeah. Everything about that movie was gold.
the reason I said it might be a surprise is because when I first originally saw it, I thought at the end of the year it would end up being actually higher, but there was a couple other stuff that surprised me and ended up a little higher. But yeah, that's my
Can I pause for a second just to say that I'm yawning pretty much uncontrollably because I got 3 hours of sleep last night and it's
and
already 1 a.m.
Yeah, we got a late start because it took us a long time to test this because Skype is a piece of shit.
Yep.
So yeah, that is my number 4.
My number 4, let's see if you approve,
I don't.
is The Nice Guys.
I am actually stunned it wasn't higher, honestly.
Oh yeah? I don't know, dude. It was like ranking children. It probably deserves to be higher. I don't know.
We're gonna edit out the past 30 seconds. Just pretend you didn't hear anything.
I don't know what to say about that movie other than it was just fun.
The
A lot of movies don't set out to just be fun anymore.
the most brilliant thing about it for me is that Shane Black, better than anyone, realizes the fact that when you go into a movie nowadays, you have seen movies your entire life. You've seen thousands and thousands of films. You know usually 99 times out of 100 where the plot's going to go, and he takes all of your built-in movie knowledge and uses it against you.
Yes.
And just subverts every expectation he can, and then you get like some of the moments in the movie that, like, I don't really want to spoil specific jokes because if you haven't seen it, it is one of the best movies of the year. And yeah, like you said, fucking Gosling and Russell Crowe.
Oh my God, they knock it out of the park. Especially Gosling. I don't like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
I fucking loved Ryan Gosling.
Like he's, I would say John Goodman was I would say the best performance of the year. Maybe my favorite performance of the year was Gosling, just because how fucking genius he is in that film. Like,
I would agree because, dude,
yeah.
I was blown away by his performance. I expect Russell Crowe to be good. Russell Crowe very rarely has a bad performance, I think. Ryan Gosling, I think, almost always has a bad performance. And there was something about that role just clicked with him. And like I said, that movie is just so much fun. And it actually, while it's not like the most groundbreaking movie story plot of all time, it had a pretty coherent plot and it flowed from act 1 to 2 to 3 pretty well. It was a very well done movie.
Maybe the most rewatchable movie of the year, because when I watched it the second time, out of anything else of the year, that was the thing I was most excited to rewatch once it visited Blu-ray, because at least 95% of the jokes still worked almost just as well, if not better, the second time. Because
dude, I picked up on shit that I didn't even notice the first time that was even funnier, you know?
Yeah. It was just it's fantastic though.
So that is my number 4.
Okay, my number 3 is Star Wars Rogue One.
I am stunned it's halfway through the list.
Where were you expecting it to be ranked?
I figured 1 or 2.
1 or 2. Okay. Here's the thing. Last year, my number 1 movie was The Force Awakens. This year,
I remember we had an hour conversation after the pod.
Yeah,
on
basically.
The pod.
This year, Rogue One comes in at number 3. I like Rogue One a lot better than Force Awakens.
Wow.
Rogue One.
That means your 1 and 2 are pretty fucking strong.
Rogue One. I'm pretty sure I want to rewatch it again, but right now I'm pretty sure it's my third favorite Star Wars movie.
And it's number 3.
Uh,
I can't get over the number 3.
okay, like with Rogue One, and I say it's 3 because the obvious one, number 1 is Empire, and then I kind of throw in A New Hope at number 2 just because it was. I mean, I give George Dredd shit all the time for what he's done to those movies. You and I've talked ad nauseum about, but it like you can't really knock him for creating like this fucking juggernaut of a franchise in that first movie.
Yeah.
So it kind of gets points for just being the first thing. But I'm pretty sure I like Rogue One the third best, and it's close to The New Hope just because Rogue One has more nutsack than the rest of the Star Wars movies put together.
That's what I've been hearing.
Like with Rogue One, man, and I don't think this is really a spoiler because you kind of get the gist of it just by knowing what the movie's about. But no one is safe. When they start killing people, you forget you're watching a fucking Star Wars movie because it is brutal. Like, what? Like, do you remember a couple weeks ago, you and I talked about one of the things we liked about the Dunkirk trailer was that it kind of presented the World War II as how it was. It was very gritty. It was dark.
Yeah, it didn't gloss it over or make it glamorous or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, that is exactly what Rogue One does for Star Wars, because since it doesn't revolve around any Skywalkers or any Jedis, it's all about the soldiers on like the ground level.
I've heard also that it does a pretty good job of making the rebellion gray.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. Why I like this so much is this is a Star Wars movie, but it actually has something to say, because a big ongoing plot thread throughout the movie is these guys are working for the rebellion and they believe their cause is just, but they're having to do some really fucked up shit. So they go into, it's a Star Wars movie that is, I mean, Disney paid how many billions of dollars to acquire this? These movies are mainly designed to make money. But with Rogue One, it has stakes to it. They're actually trying to send a message about soldiers. Like it's a very dark and it's a very intellectual movie that you typically wouldn't expect or get from this franchise, and we might not ever get again.
One thing that I heard from someone who said they read this was that, remember when everyone was worried about reshoots, which movies get reshoots all the time? That's not uncommon. Apparently, the reshoots where you mentioned when they start killing people, how brutal and stuff it is. According to the article that a guy I work with was reading, those reshoots everyone was talking about was because they didn't think Disney was going to let them get away with killing the people that they killed. And then Disney was like, oh, no, it makes sense for these people to die. And they're like, oh, okay. And they went back and reshot it. So actually, a lot of what you saw in the trailer didn't even end up getting used in the movie as it was reshot. Yeah,
and it's like that, too. It's just like Star Wars is owned by Disney. So how the fuck did Saving Private Ryan in the Star Wars universe happen? It's like the whole thing is just kind of mind-numbing to think about. Like, I don't understand how it happened. I'm just as confused as a director is. I was like, because I read that same article, and Gareth Edwards was just like, surely at some point they're gonna come in and tell us we're full of shit. We can't do this. Like, surely. He was just like waiting by the phone every day, and then you get to that final product, and it's really funny. They actually balance the tone really well because there's a lot. Alan Tudyk.
I did not get that it was gonna have comedy in the trailers.
Oh man,
when I saw those trailers,
fucking Alan Tudyk as the droid is one of the best Star Wars characters. Period. He's fucking amazing, dude. He is like if you put Colbert in a robot and then put him on the mission. He is a complete. Nice. He's like a complete like lovable asshole the whole time. Number one, it's amazing. But yeah, I was blown away by it, and I am stunned and yet so happy because this actually felt to me like, Joss Whedon's always talked about how he's wanted to do a Star Wars movie. Like, this is what I would imagine a Joss Whedon Star Wars movie would be. That's how much praise I put on it. I was really, really happy with it. It's not perfect. It has a couple of problems with it. But, man, just the cojones they put on display in that film, and especially the last 40 minutes. Oh, man.
I heard that they just kind of went for it. So, yeah.
And there's also a Darth Vader scene that is by itself worth the ticket price.
That's what I've also heard, and that's what he also keeps trying to fucking show me. And I keep running away from him.
Literally
Screaming. Anything else you wanted to add with yours?
Nope, that is pretty much all I've got for my number 3, which was Star Wars Rogue One.
Also, before we move on, I want to also preface, I didn't get to see near the movies I wanted to see before doing this list. So my list may be a little bit strange compared to yours. But my number 3 is Don't Breathe.
I'm glad we both had that as high as we did, because that was a damn good fucking movie.
It was a damn good movie, and I just wanted to see Stephen Lang kill some teenagers. I didn't know I was going to get what I got. So going in just expecting, him to just be straight up murdering people, and then getting the atmosphere that it created and everything that we talked about earlier, it just blew me the fuck away. So, yeah, that was my number 3. I don't know how much more I want to talk about it since we already
let's just wax poetic about Don't Breathe for about 10 minutes, just cause. It fucking earned it, man. Like,
oh yeah, it earned it.
Movie.
Yeah. I'll never see Thanksgiving the same.
Yeah, you me both. It's just dead to me. Also, what's crazy about that movie too, the last thing I'll say about it is you go into the movie, it's dumbass teenagers that are robbing Stephen Lang, and then Stephen Lang mercilessly murdering all of them because they're on his property. And that's kind of dark. You don't know what the fuck you're getting into if you think that's as dark as it gets, because it gets fucking bleak. Like,
every time you think it can't get darker, it gets darker.
Like, Benioff and Weiss from Game of Thrones are over there watching it like, goddamn guys, like, you need to go out and see the sun or something. But yeah, is there anything else you want to add with it?
No, I think we said all we needed to say. Even though we could do an entire podcast or vodcast. Yeah,
we need to really get in the habit of actually correctly calling our shit what it is, I guess.
Shit?
Yeah, touche. Shit, the new shitcast, that's going to be the name.
That should at least be a segment on our show.
The shitcast.
The shitcast. That's genius.
My number 2 for 2016 is The Nice Guys.
Nice.
Dude, that fucking movie is so. It's like, you want to talk about flawless scripts? I don't think that movie goes 30 seconds without making me laugh at something.
At something. And every time you watch it, you may not even laugh at the same things, but you're still laughing the entire time.
And Shane Black is just such a fucking badass director that if it's not a joke in the forefront with the dialogue, it's something in the background that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. No, it's just, that movie was done superbly. And again, Ryan Gosling, and oh my God, his daughter in the movie is basically Penny from Inspector Gadget, and I fucking hated Penny, and I liked her. She was done very well.
She held her own in scenes with those two, fully respected actors. Like, it's just crazy. Man.
Yeah. I want to watch Nice Guys.
Yeah, fuck the shit cast. Let's go watch the Nice Guys. But yeah, we already talked about it for a few minutes, but Nice Guys, my favorite script of the year would go to Shane Black. If we're doing like our little award type of thing, best script, Shane Black. And
I cannot wait for his Predator movie.
Dude, fuck yes.
It's gonna be glorious. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, and you're gonna be terrified. I have a feeling.
Now, can we make it to where it's Ryan Gosling playing this character trying to fight the Predator, where he's just like up against a tree like he is in the right Nice Guy, he's hyperventilating? Can that just be the movie?
He would basically be Diggle anytime the Flash is around. That's what he would be.
Yep, that's pretty much how I see it. But yeah, that's my number 2.
My number 2 was Civil War. And not the Matthew McConaughey fucking Civil War. No.
Oh, well, you spoiled my number 1, damn it.
the Civil War that mattered.
Yeah, I think I made that joke every time because they kept throwing that fucking McConaughey Civil War trailer and everything, and I was like, the other Civil War is so much more interesting.
Yeah, that was exactly what you said when we were in theater. Yeah. The Marvel movies, the MCU, they don't have any bad movies. They have movies that are stronger than the others. They have movies that are more your favorite than others. They don't have bad movies. But what was interesting about this one was this was the first Marvel movie I felt like that had stakes to it. Now, you know they're not going to kill any of the characters. Don't get me wrong. But the MCU does something that I don't understand how it's able to do. Usually, and you and I have said this before, your heroes are only as good as your villains. And a lot of the time, not every time, but a lot of the time, while they do the villains pretty well, you don't really care about the villain much.
Unless it's Loki.
Unless it's Loki. So to see the heroes that you've now been connected to for, what was it, 13 movies leading up to this one?
Yeah, like 12 or 13, something like that.
Yeah, going at it, all of a sudden it had stakes. All of a sudden it was eliciting raw emotion from you, the audience, as you're watching the movie, as you're watching all of your favorites. Because, dude, the way that they divvied up the teams was fucking genius, because I was never purely one team or the other.
Just to simplify our conversation of this, my number one is Civil War.
Is it?
So, yeah, we could talk about it at the same time. And I'm actually going to, just to talk about it, and because of how big of a movie it is, I'm gonna spoiler warning this. I think we should talk full spoilers for it, because, come on, it's basically Avengers 2. Because Ultron didn't fucking happen. This is Avengers 2. This was my number one because, especially after going and rewatching it, I think I saw it twice in theaters, but when I watched it on Blu-ray just the last couple of weeks as I was prepping for these lists, I think, the reason, I think I said it back during our review, I was pretty sure this was my new number one favorite MCU film overall, actually overtaking the Avengers. And I think I stand by that this is my number one over the Avengers, because as much as I love the Avengers is one note. It's fun. From minute one to the ending, it is fun. They had stakes with Phil Coulson dying, but that kind of got wiped out when they brought him back, because he doesn't really die within the he dies to the other characters, but he doesn't die.
To be fair, though, at the time,
yes, at the time,
you never foresaw anyone in these movies ever dying.
That's true, but for the sake of the argument,
my head exploded in theaters
when they killed him.
When they killed him, my head just. I mean,
I'm just talking about for the sake of the conversation for now. When you have to rank the entirety we've gotten to up until now, this is a movie, Civil War, that is so brilliant at navigating tone. You have scenes that are as dark as the Agent Carter funeral, which breaks me every fucking time I watch that scene.
Yeah,
that type of scene exists in the film. But 30 minutes later, you'll get to Spider-Man being introduced, and your heart is just... Oh, my God. It's like...
Spider-Man...
They have Spider-Man in the movie for 10 minutes, and it's the best Spidey film you've ever seen. 20 minutes after that, you have Giant Man. You have the Ant-Man scene.
Which I'm still going to hold over your head, because I fucking called.
Yeah. But, like, you have a movie, and this is still... I'm spoiling it. This is a fucking MCU movie where the bad guy wins.
Yes.
The bad guy fucking wins at the end, but...
That's two notes that I have, is that it's the darkest of the MCU movies, because, dude, it gets downright brutal between the heroes. And, there's points that that they're not going to kill Iron Man, they're not going to kill Captain America, or any of the big ones, especially like that. But there's times where you genuinely fear for Iron Man, or you genuinely fear for Captain America, and the overall story is dark, and the shit these guys are doing to each other is brutally dark. If you watch Iron Man and then you watch this, there is no comparison.
that scene where after Tony Stark has the MIT press conference and he goes out to the back and then the kid's mom from Sokovia has a conversation with them. Like, it actually brings consequences to a universe that demands that, because we've had 13 movies of cities getting fucking destroyed. Like, I just think it was absolutely brilliant, because like, now when I was knocking the Avengers a little bit, it's my second favorite movie of all of their movies. So this would be my number one, and then Avengers is number two. I give this the edge because, like you were saying, it's whereas Avengers is pure entertainment at its best, this movie is kind of trying to say something, and it's dark, but it's not depressingly dark like Batman v Superman was. Like, it's just the fucking tightrope they walk of judging like when to throw in the character here and there. And like, you want to talk about, we talked about earlier about like in our TV podcast about how like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really good about balancing the characters. How many fucking characters is in Civil War? And everyone feels it simultaneously feels like Avengers 2 while feeling like a Captain America sequel, while also feeling like an Iron Man sequel. And it never feels like someone is being overshadowed.
Yeah, it's even when they bring in like, say, Spider-Man for the 10 minutes that he's in it, or Ant-Man for the 10 minutes he's in it, you feel like they're up there and equal with everybody else in their scenes. It's balanced so well.
And what's really cool too is they never feel not important to the plot. The way that they, in Age of Ultron, its biggest problem is that it feels like 30 teaser trailers for upcoming MCU films. But Civil War has even more characters, yet they all feel like they're important and have a role to play in the story. I was completely fucking blown away by it, just by, dude, the acting too during the last fight between Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.
Oh my God.
Will break you, man. Like, I don't care, he killed my mom. It's like, too, it's like you have character motivations. You have to balance between the 20 or whatever characters they have in here. And it's so fucking brilliant that no one is wrong. No one at the end of the movie is wrong.
And the other, I mentioned earlier that I had two specific notes that I wanted to make sure we hit that you mentioned. The second one is, what kind of blew me away was, like you said, the villain fucking won. He wanted to show the world that, you know, what they really are, and they showed everyone spectacularly. And even though they took him down, it doesn't matter that they took him down. He was going to kill himself anyway. He got what he wanted. He won. He accomplished his goals.
He killed the Avengers.
He's the only one in the movie that accomplished his goals.
He killed the Avengers.
Yeah.
He totally set out to end.
No powers. Dude. They didn't even know he was there.
You know, like, and like I was saying, like, however, no one's wrong. He's not wrong either. When you hear his backstory, like, he dug through his fucking house for 3 days to find his dead family, his dad still holding his wife and child. Like, I can't blame the dude for doing what he did. I mean, it's awful what he does, but it's just like, I mean, you get where he's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, the villain almost had a law-abiding citizen feel to him.
Yeah.
But you know, brought down to the level of the MCU.
It's just, yeah, when you take into account, because leading into this film, my two favorite MCU movies were number one, The Avengers, and number two, Winter Soldier, and this is kind of like the best of both kind of merged together. And it's so intellectual, it's so dark, but they give you those moments of just pure, like, fucking Ant-Man running through Iron Man's suit.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just like they have, and then like the action's great, the performances are great. It's just like I literally don't think I can pinpoint a single thing wrong with that fucking movie.
In my opinion, it's a nearly flawless movie. Probably, I need to see it again, but I don't really have any issues with it.
It was too. Oh, at the last thing that I'll say too is the way that they subvert your expectations about the other Winter Soldiers is fucking brilliant. Because 99 times out of 100, what the superhero movie is going to do at that moment is Black Panther, who we didn't mention. Black Panther's metal is fucking this movie too. He's awesome.
Oh my god, dude, that scene where he's just standing there and they're shooting him and he don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's fucking badass. But
Yes.
99 times out of 100, what's going to happen in a superhero movie with that setup is that Black Panther, Iron Man, and Captain America, after all of their arguments, are going to team up and then fight the group of Winter Soldiers, and everyone goes home honky-dory at the end, having defeated the bad guy. But when they walk in and they find the Winter Soldiers all dead, and you start to realize what's going on, you're like, bravo the fuck oh, Marvel. Like, you subverted all the expectations you set forth over your 13 or whatever movies. It was just genius writing.
Yeah, no, I cannot fault you for having that as number one. It was a very, very strong movie.
Do you want to get into your number one? I already know what your number one is. Just off the what's the term? You get what I'm saying though. Like what was that?
I can't tell if you blew a fuse or not.
No, I'm trying to think of the term.
You had like three sentences going and you just stopped and went, what?
Well, in my brain, I'm just watching Civil War and tuning out your part of the conversation. So go ahead.
Doctor Strange is my number one.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
When you said it exceeded your mammoth expectations you had for it, I figured it ended up being your number one.
It did, and I'm not saying that it's a better movie than Civil War by putting it at number one either. My list, all of my movies on my list could have easily been a number one, but Doctor Strange, it's so new, I don't really want to go into spoiler territory with it.
Yeah, let's not spoil too much of Doctor Strange.
But there's a few points in Doctor Strange that completely blew me away with the storytelling, and I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it is completely different from, I think, any superhero movie I've ever seen, really. It's part of the way the story is written is more akin to Doctor Who than it is a superhero movie. So, I mean, that blew me away. The idea behind that blew me away. And just the way they did the characters in the movie, period, and the way that they did their spell work. Because, dude, this could have honestly very easily been the MCU's Harry Potter. And they turned it into Bulletproof Monk meets God, I don't know what. Like,
yeah,
they're like in the cartoons. That's the limit of my knowledge from Doctor Strange is in the cartoons and in the animated movies. And just like everything else, it takes him 10 minutes to fire a fucking spell. In this, there's not even any incantations or anything. It's fast. You know, they're throwing shit at him, and he brings something up really fast. He conjures something really quickly while shit's coming at him in midair to deflect it, you know? Things like that. It's more like power of will, I guess. But everything that they did, and that was fantastic. And letting Tilda Swinton be Tilda Swinton was pretty interesting.
She's the best character in the movie.
Yeah. I don't fault you for that.
No, wait. She's the best human character in the movie. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. And what is interesting is when you have a movie that usually takes someone that is coming in so late in the game, like the character Doctor Strange is. And, I mean, it's not really a spoiler that he's going to be Sorcerer Supreme. That's kind of his thing.
You motherfucker, I wasn't aware.
But it's pretty believable the way that they get that across in 2 hours, that he would become that.
Yeah,
you know?
it was...
And the way he gets pulled into it actually kind of blew me away because he's, you know, I can't go any further because of spoilers. But
yeah.
The way he gets sucked into it and the way he gets pulled into shit that happens was pretty genius.
Yeah, I think probably the best thing they did was you alluded to it when you said, like, it very easily could have been their Harry Potter. some of the sequences during the movie could have been so easily filmed, almost like they're LARPing, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it could have been so easily hokey, but they like the Scott Derrickson and the writers reined it in perfectly. My favorite thing about it was how you talked about how it wasn't something you had really seen in a superhero movie before.
Yeah.
It didn't end up making my top 5 because to me it's more in the MCU tier of like the 6 to 10 range. It's in more like the kind of like the Thor 1 type of territory for me. That's the movie in the MCU that made me think of. It's one of those things where it's like, this has no business fucking working half as well as it did, but bravo for pulling it off.
The Inception-like scenes that you see in the trailer could have also easily been completely unnecessary, but it works. Like they did a really good job, like you said, reining everything in and keeping it grounded.
It has
more
the
or
coolest. It has the coolest special effects of any of the movies they've done.
Yeah, and dude, Benedict Cumberbatch, Mads Mikkelsen, Tilda Swinton, Chiwetel Ejiofor. Is it what Wong? I can't think of his first name.
Benedict Wong.
Benedict Wong. I see. My brain kept going BD, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
nope.
those poor guys. Everyone gets their names mixed up.
Wrong Wong. But everyone in it was fantastic, and you know some of them are big names, and even though they're super big names, again, like Civil War, there wasn't a single actor that overshadowed the other one. So it was done very well.
Yeah, well,
and I appreciated that while Civil War was a fantastic movie, it may even be a better movie, it still kind of is the same flavor of a lot of the movies that came before it. And Doctor Strange was something totally different.
Yeah, Doctor Strange was continuing their line of Guardians and Ant-Man.
Yes.
Throwing in a different genre, basically.
Yes.
Now, I will say, what gets it close to the top 5 of the MCU, not in the top 5, but relatively close, is I think it has, ironically, and they were both this year, I think the 2 best endings of the MCU, just as far as how clever they are actually Civil War and Doctor Strange. We can't talk about Doctor Strange, but anyone that has seen it knows how awesomely simple yet genius their ending is, and their concept for...
And anyone that has seen it, I encourage to look up, was it Cargill that was talking about their motivations for writing the ending that they did? I encourage anyone to look up when he was talking about that. Just Google it, because
they fucking nailed that character.
They fucking nailed that character, and they nailed the concept. Like, they got that concept across to you through the storytelling. So yeah, no, I was pretty blown away with it. It was also a note that I had down was, if you stop and think about it, it's an incredibly dark movie, but it has so many lighthearted things happening, not even just moments, but just lighthearted things, period, throughout the whole movie, that it's really kind of after the movie that I was just kind of like, whoa, that was actually pretty dark. But it felt like Iron Man, like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a dark Iron Man. It was Dark Man.
Dark Man. Well, that's already a movie, so you're gonna get sued.
Right. Need to watch that again.
Yeah. I would like to go into detail about my favorite character, but I can't because it's a massive spoiler to me.
Yeah. No, we cannot.
Yeah.
But definitely check it out.
So, yeah, why don't we do like we did with TV? You want to recap our list before we do honorable mentions?
Yep.
All right. Why don't you recap yours first?
For number 5, I had 10 Cloverfield Lane. The Nice Guys. 3 was Don't Breathe. 2 was Captain America Civil War. And 1 was Doctor Strange.
All right. My number 5 was Don't Breathe. My number 4 was Deadpool. My number 3 was Rogue One, 2 was Nice Guys, and 1 was Captain America Civil War.
All worthy competitors.
Yeah, no fucking kidding. It was actually, I thought it was a bit of a down year for the landscape of television, but I actually thought most of the movies are pretty strong. Most of the bigger movies ended up
That's
like
been a while.
we didn't really have that many disappointments, I thought, as far as the movies went.
Yeah. And next year is looking to be about the same, just from what we've seen in trailers.
If the movies next year, if a third of them are as good as they're advertised, it'll this next year will be better than this year too. Because just like when you look at the schedule, Kingsman 2, Wonder Woman, Logan, um, Spidey, Guardians
Spidey.
2, like
Thor?
it's the Thor. The list just goes on and fucking on, and yeah, cannot wait. But yeah, um, I'll go ahead and do my honorable mentions for the movies. My first one was Hell or High Water, which was
Okay.
I think you'd really fucking dig this movie if you watch it. It's from the writer of Sicario. So
Uh-huh.
that guy, his name is Taylor Sheridan. He can fucking write an intense conversation like it's a fucking shootout, dude. Like, you know, talk about like with Sicario, some of those conversations, especially with Benicio in
Oh,
that
yes.
movie, they have some that are up to
It's
par
edge of
with.
your seat stuff, and there's people just sitting and talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are some conversations in Hell or High Water that are as good as those. And then the actors, I don't know if you remember the cast. Jeff Bridges is one of the
Yeah.
leads. Chris Pine and Ben Foster,
It's a
all
great
fucking
cast.
all fucking brilliant.
Where
I
the fuck has
really
Ben Foster been?
I don't he picks usually strange roles. It seems like he's not really ever in marquee stuff. It's kind of odd. Maybe I don't know what is up with him, but he's a fantastic actor. You'd think he'd be in more. My next, I really though, I think you'd really dig that once you get around to watching it. My next one was Doctor Strange. It made it into my mentions. It didn't quite the way it exceeded your expectations. It met mine, and I had really high expectations, so it was a great fucking movie. But it didn't blow me away because I still had a couple of issues with it. I thought their villain ended up being better than most, but still a little underdeveloped because they had Mads Mikkelsen. I think they could have probably gotten a little bit more out of him because he's such a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
And
At least he had motivations.
yeah, at least it was one of those things where
Guardians.
fucking Guardians. You're lucky we love you, Guardians of the Galaxy. It was one of those things where everything else was so good around him that if they would have been able to knock the villain out of the park in that movie, it would have been top 5 material of all their movies. But yeah, that's why it made my mentions. And then my last one, this is actually going to tie into our next podcast we do where we talk about judging quality versus favoritism when we're doing our
Yeah.
rankings. This one gets a mention purely off quality, and it's Arrival.
Okay.
Structurally speaking, if you want to talk about performances, cinematography, directing, acting, writing, literally fucking everything, it's worthy of probably top 3. But its storyline, and this isn't really a spoiler because you will understand what I'm talking about in the first 30 seconds of the movie because they open up with a scene of it. You don't really get the full impact of Arrival unless you're a parent.
Okay.
And I am not one, so its storyline, while fantastically well done, didn't emotionally impact me. I think if you had been the one to watch this, it could have been in your top 2.
Probably because it doesn't take much to emotionally impact me anymore. God damn it.
This movie, I think, will, if when you get around to watching it, especially if you end up watching it with Chris, I think you'll both be emotionally devastated for like a week. Like it can kind of wreck you, and I really appreciate all of it. Fundamentally, it didn't impact me specifically, so that's why
Kevin Smith said that it's not what you think it is.
that was also
And that was as far as he would go, which is
Yeah.
surprising for
that
him.
tells you something. That tells you something. If even Kevin Smith isn't wanting to spoil it because it isn't what you think it is. That was also, I think, part of the problem for me is I figured it out what was going on about 20 minutes or so before I was supposed to. So when the thing happens where you realize what's going on, other people in the theater I was watching it with were like, "What?" But I already kind of figured it out, so I didn't have that kind of like what the fuck moment for me either. But it's one of those things too where it's like I can't knock it for that. Like it was such a well done fucking movie. But yeah,
Yeah.
those are mine. Now, when you get around to watching it, I want to talk about it again.
Okay.
I think it will wreck your shit, dude.
It probably. I might have to pull a Kevin Smith and just like record myself watching it.
Yeah, it'll be like that Flash finale for him.
Yeah. So, in no particular order, my honorable mentions: Deadpool was really close to being
I
in the
was
top
surprised
5.
Deadpool didn't make your list, to be honest.
It, as much as I love that movie and as fun as it is, I have watched it several times since it's been in theaters, and it kind of goes down a little bit for me every time I watch it.
See, that's funny. I think I watched it twice in the theater. Yeah, I watched it twice in the theater. I haven't gone back to watch it yet on Blu-ray, but I'd be curious to see how I feel about it after that many repeat viewings.
Yeah, it's after repeated viewings, it's one of those that it gets just a touch weaker every time I watch it. So I don't know if it's just, the jokes don't work anymore. I don't know what it is. I couldn't really put my finger on it.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think, okay, like the way Nice Guys is written is it's all cleverly written setup. Deadpool is shock value humor, and I think that will wear off more quickly than like Nice Guys will.
But so it was pretty close to being in my top 5 though.
Yeah, it made your mentions list like.
So, Green Room.
See, that one got damn close. At one point, I actually had at one point, I actually had it in my mentions, but the more stuff I ended up seeing towards the end of the year kind of pushed it out. But man,
fantastic movie.
Green Room is such a good movie, but I never want to watch it again because it emotionally scarred me for life.
One of the notes that I have written down for Green Room is word for word, holy shitballs, Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, he was amazing in that movie.
He is one scary motherfucker. I think my last one's gonna surprise you.
Uh-oh.
Any wild guesses from this year?
Oh, fuck. You said it's gonna surprise me. I'm just gonna throw one out there.
Okay.
Jungle Book.
No.
Not Jungle Book. Okay, that was my random guess. Go ahead.
That was a little bit more of a wild guess than I thought you would go. Although I was happy I saw Jungle Book, but I'll probably never watch it again. Hardcore Henry.
No, that's another one. I love that movie. I never want to watch it again because I lost years to that movie.
I appreciate them taking it slow at first because, oh my God, when they're taking it slow, it kind of hurt. But once I got used to it, that's when it started like, I want to, probably 30 minutes, they take it slow and then it starts ramping up. But Charlton Copley alone. Huh?
This whole review could be a euphemism.
Pretty much. Charlton Copley, dude.
Man.
That's all you need to know.
It's a shame that it would never happen because he really deserved an Oscar nomination for that fucking movie.
He deserved an Oscar, not just the nomination.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Man, it's such an oddly specific movie, but they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish so well.
I was gonna say I went in not really knowing what to expect. I expected it to make me sick, is what I expected it. But it was cleverly done. I was really surprised.
Yeah.
It would never make it into my top 5, but it made my honorable mentions because I give them props, and Charlton Copley deserves some kind of recognition from that.
He really does.
Yeah. So yeah, I figured that one would surprise you.
That was a fucking experience. Like
I'm not sure how it would work on video.
I'm almost wanting to watch it on DVD or Blu-ray just to see.
I feel like it wouldn't be nearly as jarring, but I also feel like that it would lose most of what they were trying to accomplish with the movie, you know?
Yeah, they flat out. I remember seeing something with either the writer or the director with Coldplay, when they were out marketing it, they were both saying you have to see it in the theater.
Yeah,
So
it felt specifically designed for theaters.
Yeah, it was a theater experience more so than a movie, honestly. But it was fucking awesome for what it was.
Yeah, for that matter, Doctor Strange, I feel like is a theater experience.
Yeah, not to the same extent.
It would work on video, but I feel like you're missing out if you don't see it in theaters.
It loses a lot of the cool factor with the special effects with it not being that way. But yeah, that's pretty much. Really quickly, talk about your trend that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, that's right. So if you look at my list, and I didn't realize this until after I had finished my list, but Hardcore Henry, Green Room, Deadpool, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Nice Guys, Don't Breathe, everything but 2 movies. The overall theme is the most simple, basic plot structures. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Even Deadpool, kill the bad guys, get the girl. Green Room, get the fuck out of the green room. Hardcore Henry, make your audience vomit. Nice Guys, everything. Don't Breathe, get the fuck out of the house. Right? I mean, I started thinking about it when I realized that, and I think that a lot of the issues that Hollywood is having right now also is they feel like every movie has to be a super complex structure that folds and weaves throughout itself. Like, okay, Civil War is not a perfect example of what I'm talking about, but it's a movie that took 13 movies leading up to it that I need yarn and some push pins to follow if I haven't been following the movies up till now. And even inside that one movie, even just inside Civil War, how many twists and turns? How many times does the story overlap? How many times? It's just a complex movie. And it's well done, don't get me wrong. But it's a very, very dense movie. And everything I feel like nowadays feels like that's what it has to do to get an audience. Whereas almost everything in my list, the simpler the plot, the more I liked it. So, I don't know. It was interesting. I said I didn't notice that until after I was completely done with my list and I was looking over it.
I'm even more curious to know what you think of Arrival now, because Arrival is doing exactly what you said. It is complex when you find out what's going on.
Is it? So, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
You're just saying it's easy to fuck up, and Hollywood is following that trend.
It's easy to fuck up, and when every single movie that you watch is that way, it's easy to burn out the audience too. Like
it's kind of like
the bottom line is, I just want to have fun for a couple hours, Jeff.
You know what it kind of makes me think of too is back when The Sixth Sense came out. For 5 years, all of Hollywood thought everything had to have a twist.
Yes.
Every fucking movie had some kind of third act twist in that 5 year span afterwards.
And it's like everything in my list almost was just the most simplest plot you could have, just about. And they were all fucking fantastic movies. And a lot of them were lower budget films. Green Room and 10 Cloverfield Lane, Don't Breathe.
And Deadpool is low budget for a superhero movie.
Yeah, Deadpool. I would say Nice Guys. It didn't need a huge budget, but
Nice Guys, the only money that really went anywhere was for Gosling, Crowe, and Shane Black's salary. That was all the money they really needed.
Yeah. So I mean, there was a definite trend there in my list this year.
Yeah, it was a really, really good year for movies. It was a shame that it was a bad year for literally every fucking thing else that could happen to the human race. But we had some pretty good movies to distract us.
I also want to say, I know it's really late in the show to say this, but you and I are not saying that any of these movies sucked in the ranking. They made our ranking. Like, these movies were nitpicked and are ranked by the narrowest of margins.
And we stress always with our rankings, we're talking favorites, not necessarily best, because you even talked about, like, when you were talking with Doctor Strange in Civil War, Civil War is probably a better movie, but Doctor Strange was your favorite of the two, so that's what made the ranking the way it is. So yeah,
exactly.
it's complete ranking by nepotism, which isn't a bad thing. So yeah, that's a wrap for 2016. I'm gonna go take a nap because as soon as January 1st hits back up, I have to start all this again because like you were saying, you were saying how there was a lot of shit you wanted to watch but didn't get to. I watch way too much fucking shit. I want to watch less next year. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But if you'd like to check us out more, which now that you're watching us on video, I would not blame you if you didn't want to. I'm sorry. Please check out our social media links in the description for our Facebook and Twitter. We should be updating the Twitter to vodcast, but probably not anytime
Probably
soon.
not.
Probably not.
It's to be fair, it's still experimental at this point.
Yeah. And with us, it's always experimental because everything breaks all the fucking time.
Eventually, we'll get tired of having to look pretty for the camera and just go back to podcasts.
I'm gonna make a thing every episode. I'm gonna be dressed up in either a clown costume or a suit for no reason. I'm just gonna make it like a little in joke.
What is it? Moonfane on Twitch. He's like in a dinosaur costume.
Yeah, I'll do something fucking stupid just because. I'll just do a whole recording without my shirt on. Just pretend like I actually am wearing clothes.
No thanks.
Yeah. You say this now. I totally derailed my.
Hey, of the two of us, I'm the one with boobs. I should be the one without shirt.
Oh yeah, we need the clickbait. So please. Fucking all of the fucking subscribers, man. Yeah, we derailed the outro so fucking bad. Talked about social media. We're hoping to get back onto doing Let's Plays pretty soon, so be on the lookout for those. I'm Geoff.
I'm Ron.
And this is a send-off.
Nice to meet everyone.
This is a send-off to 2016. Go fuck yourself, 2016. But I like your movies. Bye, guys.